and welcome back to my smart little library. Today's video is gonna be what I want to read in May. Or pretty much a little bit more like a collection of books that I may want to read in May. I have to do a confession, kind of. I did used to do TBRs and I enjoyed them, but at the moment I have a hard time sticking to them. Mostly because I used to be a big mood reader and I always used to read multiple books at a time. I tried stopping that to make it a little bit easier for me when I film videos, to be honest. But I'm missing that. I want to start doing that again, and so I thought, F it, I will do it again. It will still work in vlogs and giving you updates and stuff like that, but yeah, it may make me a lot happier. But if I do that, doing TBRs don't really work because as a mood reader, you know, you want to pick up what you're in the mood for at that point and not be forced to read a book you chose at the beginning of the month and now it's the middle of the month and you don't even want to read that anymore. So yeah, that being said, I've decided to do more videos like books I might want to read. There's no guarantee that I will actually read them when it comes to it, but these are books that are kind of on the forefront of my mind and that I'm interested in reading and that I'm currently in the mood in, and I might be in the mood in when it comes to the months. I won't force myself to read these. These are more of an idea of what I want to read. If I pick up new books, obviously I will read those. But yeah, I thought maybe a video like that would be still interesting for you to see what I have on my TBR and what I might want to read. And yeah, but I won't need to hold myself accountable to what I chose at the beginning of the month. The first one is one I was really sad that I couldn't. That was a problem with my TBRs as well. I was all through last year in the process of reading all of Terry Pratchett's books, and so I stopped at 28, and I haven't read one for the past few months just because I just couldn't get it in, which is really sad because it's a book series I enjoyed reading one every month, and so. If I'm in the mood, I will try to pick up Night Watch, which is the 29th book in the Discworld series by Terry Pratchett. I have these library collector's editions. Fun anecdote, but my boyfriend sent me a TikTok, 2 days ago I think it is, and was like, hey, here's a Brandon Sanderson TikTok, and he has the same libraries collection from the Terry Pratchett books that we have, because you could see them in his bookshelves in the background, and it was so cool. These are really pretty copies, and Brandon Sanderson also seems to like them because he has them in his bookshelves, which was kind of like a really cool fact. My partner didn't know Brandon Sanderson before I got addicted to his books, and now he just sends me everything. So yeah, it's really cool. But yeah, I like this copy. If I get to it, I would really like to. Yeah, Night Watch. And it is the City Watch collection. I think the 6th one in that collection. Because if you don't know, Terry Pratchett's books, you have the whole Discworld collection, and then they are sorted into different sub-collections, which is the City Watch collection, Death collection, whoever is the main topic of the book. And so yeah, this one is one of these City Watch ones, which were my favorite. So we'll see, but I've heard that that one is the best of the City Watch books, so we'll see. Then for a little bit more fantasy, this one, it's called The Outstretched Shadow, and it's part 1 of the Obsidian trilogy by Mercedes Lackey and James Melroy. I bought a fantasy lot on eBay 2 years ago, I think, and this is one of the series that was in there. There was a lot of Mercedes Lackeys in there. I still haven't read one of those, which kind of annoys me, and I rearranged my shelves recently and I found these stored behind some other books, which is a problem. You shouldn't store books too deep if you haven't read them yet. It is a problem. And so yeah, it reminded me that I haven't picked up one of them yet, so I thought that might be a good starting point. If you read anything from Mercedes Lackey, please tell me if this is a good starting point, because I have a few different series. I can't see a connection reading the blurb, but I don't know if they are connected in some way, but yeah. This one seems cool, so I thought, why not? maybe pick it up. Then we have one which I just want to get behind me. It's Until the Last of Me, which is part 2 of a series by Sylvia Novelle. And the first one was Here's Zero for What Comes Next. I really didn't like that book. It's historical fiction, kind of like hidden as sci-fi. Or like, yeah, it just masquerades around as a sci-fi book, but for me it's really just historical fiction. This one should play more in like recent times, but yeah, I didn't like the first one. Bought this one before I read the first one because I thought this was a standalone. There's just nothing here saying that it's a second book. Yeah, so I didn't realize it, and yeah, I still want to read it, even though I'm pretty sure I won't like it, because I bought it already, and I feel bad just like throwing a book out having at all read it. And I started the series. I will give the second one a try. I won't force myself to finish it if I realize partway through that it isn't any better than the first one for me. So yeah, we'll see. Then we have a book that I want to pick up if I have a bad day. This is Bloody Rose by Nicholas Ames. It's part 2 of The Kings of the Wild. I don't know if the series has a name, but the first one is The Kings of the Wild. A really, really funny fantasy book, and this is pretty much about the daughter our heroes tried to save in the first one. And yeah, now we have the second book, which is of the... Well, it has something to do with daughter. I have no idea what exactly. But yeah, I'm hoping this one has the same humor as the first one, which I think would make sense because it's the same series. But yeah, I think this is a great read for like a bad day. And I had problems with like a little bit of mood swings the last few months. So I thought kind of like putting a book to the side for bad days is just a good idea, you know, just to like pick it up if I have a bad day and make myself laugh with a fantasy book, which is my favorite. So yeah, we'll try that. Then 2 books I really want to read are these 2 Alien books. I just got them this month, and I'm really want to try and read more of the Alien books. The 3 I read already, I really liked, so I thought I'd pick up some more. We have Aliens Book 1 Earth Hive by Steve Perry, and then we have Aliens with a Labyrinth by S.D. Perry, which she's a daughter of Steve Perry, which I think is kind of cool. I do think there are a few books between these, but with the Alien books I found it doesn't really matter to read them in like the right reading order, because a lot of them play on like different planets in different times with different crews. So yeah, some you might need to read in like the right order, but some you don't. This one is, I think, of the first movie, the book, or like something like that. And this one I don't think has anything to do with the movies, so it should work out. But yeah, I bought these 2 used. They look really great. I'm really happy with them, and I'm really looking forward to reading those. Then I found a lot of books that I've forgotten I owned when rearranging my shelves, and one of those is this one, which is called The Long Last Call by John Skipp, and this has something to do with a stranger who comes into a strip club, and every time he gives someone money from his briefcase, they get angrier and angrier, and at some point that just explodes. I thought this might be just a really good, like, getting the anger out novel. So we'll see how this is. I haven't ever read anything from him. I got this also in like a random eBay box. I do like buying random eBay boxes, I have to say, because you can get books really, really cheaply on eBay, and I read them anyways. I don't mind not knowing anything about a book before getting it, so I like that. Then we have a James Ronan's book. I read 1 or 2 from him. Up until now, they're kind of like thriller with a military involvement, always, and then like a scientist, like 2 main characters, 1 military guy, 1 scientist, often like a guy and a girl together. And yeah, I enjoyed the ones I've read so far, and this one has something to do with the Vatican. I think this might be a book in a series, but to be honest, I don't own the whole series. I think a lot of these books you can read as a standalone if you can live with not knowing all of the personal connections between the guys, but I will try it. Because to be honest, I don't know if I want to buy all of the series, and I don't know if I can get it on like my library, because these authors aren't on my library app. So yeah, I will try to read it as a standalone. If it works, if it doesn't, I will have to find some kind of solution. If I have a book, I need to read it. Dan Brown, Origin, you can see there's a bookmark in there. I only need to read this bit. I hate it. But because it is the last book in the series, I've read all of them, and the series is over once I've read this part. I want to finish that next month. I want to be done with that series. This one lives rent-free in my head. I hate myself for it. And so yeah, I want to finish it finally so that I can forget that it ever existed. I'm not impressed. I liked the first 2 books, hated the other ones. Which, it hurts, but what can you do? And then we have 2 books that were originally on my TBR for this month. There's no way I'm gonna pick them up this month, but I do want to read them. So yeah, I need to put them on like maybe I read this without the pressure of feeling like I have to read them. And that is, the first one is The Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson, part 3 of the Mistborn trilogy. I really want to get to it. But yeah, I love reading really big books for the last few months, and now I'm like in this slump of big books, which I hate, but it happens. And so yeah, I feel really intimidated by it again. But I think this one would work really, really well, reading it parallel to other books. You know, like reading 50 pages of one book and then 50 pages of this book and then 50 pages of another book, and doing that for like a week or 2. To get really slowly through it, but like get through it. That is actually my ideal way to read books, to be honest, because I kind of tire quickly of like a certain topic or a certain character, even though I don't dislike them, you know, but I tire of their antics without disliking them, and I don't want to like dislike the book because I read too much of it. Because it is definitely a me problem, it's not a book problem, it's something like, I always had that, which is, it's a thing that also makes it hard for me to watch series, because I get tired so quickly of people in them, you know. So yeah, that makes it harder for me to read such big books, even though if I really like the characters. So yeah, I think that method of like reading 3 books like parallel and like doing a little bit of every one might work quite well with this one. So yeah, I have the hope that I will pick it up next month. And then the other one, I promised myself I would read this month, and I also don't have the energy for. It's The Crooked Kingdom. I really want to finish this duology off because I like the first one so much, and this copy is so, so pretty, and yeah, I want to have it read. But this also is, well, it is big, but I think the bigger problem with this is that I like the characters, but they're really, really hard to read at times, because I find them to be not annoying, but like, they get on my nerves a little bit at times. And so yeah, I don't feel ready yet this month, but maybe I will be ready in May to pick it up, and yeah, we'll see. I have hopes for it. So yeah, those are the books that I possibly might pick up in May. I will definitely keep you updated in my vlogs what I then read. So yeah, if you want to know ahead of my wrap up what I read in May, you might have to come back for my vlogs, which would be nice. But yeah, if you have any ideas about the book, if you have read some of them, want to leave me like some other books that you think I might want to pick up, please leave that down below in the comment section. That would be really, really nice, and also good for the algorithm. Yeah, if you liked the video, please leave a like. Subscribe if you want to. That would be really, really nice. And yeah, I hope I see you in the next video, and that you're okay with this kind of like switch up of the format. Just because, like, I don't know, I couldn't deal with the TBRs anymore, you know. And yeah, I hope I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.